guys, I have a long trip ahead, and I thought of this topic that I've been wanting to kind of talk about publicly, and that is the topic of polarity in masculine feminine relationships, and different stuff I've seen on YouTube talking about how there's like a polarity of expression of, like masculinity on one end of the pole and femininity on the other end of the pole. And I just wanted to speak to this because I'm 40 years old, so I've been out in and around people for that long, and no offense to like a 20-year-old person, like I'm sure that young people have plenty of insight that no matter what age you are, you can learn from. Different people have different wheelhouses that we can all learn from. So from my perspective, I have always been a very feminine presenting person. Anyway, it's not like I went from tomboy to, really feminine person. But why is that important? I don't know. I guess I'm just introducing like where I'm coming from. And okay, so I come from a lineage of like really feminine Southern women. And what I mean by that is like my mom told me that she couldn't wear jeans. Like if you wore jeans to school more than once a week, that there was something a little off with you. They wore dresses and skirts and dressed up big time, and the whole thing, like when there's game day, you dress up, and fingernails always painted, makeup on every day. That was my mom and my grandma. So that's how I was when I went to high school and college. And it wasn't until I had 5 kids and was a stay-at-home mom that I was just like, this is not sustainable. I cannot have a newborn and a toddler and get up and, honestly, during those newborn days, my first husband was a workaholic, and so he was never home. The harder life got, the more he wasn't there. Well, no, he was never there. It didn't matter. But, and backstory, he was just part of a family business where, he was raised that business was always first. And yes, it took a toll on our relationship. And yes, there was a lot that made the love go away, and, it resulted in divorce. But I don't know why I'm telling you that either. Just, you might as well know where I'm coming from, where this opinion is coming from. So having those two ultra feminine, people who I love, is my mother and my grandmother, that's kind of the experience I'm drawing from, and also myself being raised to be that way, and just my own personal experience. When I first started seeing those videos pop up, and I listen to them, I can think of at least 2 that come to my mind on the feminine, like on the women talking about feminine masculine polarity, and then I can think of 2 specific men who talk about it too. And at first I listened to it, really thinking, I don't know anything about this. I'm a blank slate, so I'm just, listening to what they have to say. And, it just kind of put it on my mind. And then in my relationship with my husband now, I would just kind of notice things. And I think that what I want to say is 2 things. One thing is where they get it right, and one thing is where it might not be safe for men, especially, to like really hone in on those ideas. So where they get it right, I think if you are a person who enjoys like the kind of theme of polarity, there's some people who I think are going to hear that and be like, F that, no way, you know, and to them I say, more power to you, because I don't think it's a have to be this way. But coming from the standpoint that I am of, you know, being raised to be super feminine, and I don't really have a problem with that. Like, I feel like within my own set of values, I am super feminine. Anyway, so what I do think is very true about those videos is the concept of receptivity. I think femininity can be boiled down into receptivity toward life, like just kind of a open, trusting feeling toward the universe. Like the universe, people, my partner, my family, like my friends, the people around me, like they're gonna take care of me, like it's gonna be fine, like a faith. I really think that is femininity in a nutshell, and that is really what attracts, what magnetizes people, things, energy toward you, is just really getting in touch with that inner well-being of everything's going to be fine, everything is good, noticing how many things in your life are good, and appreciating the small things, taking care of yourself, like little things that just make you happy. You don't have to go to, I don't know, where's some Louis Vuitton. You don't have to go to Louis Vuitton and get a bag from there in order to take care of yourself. Like, you can go to Walmart, you can get like your nails done for like $6 or $7 instead of $60, you know, but do it and know that you are so worth it, you know. The stuff that, anyway, I'm getting off track. Femininity is enjoyment as well. That's another thing. Like, being tapped into the energy of like enjoying things, being grateful for things, like seeing the good, in a very relaxed and like, you know, waves. Water is a very feminine energy, you know, like just like the waves, you know, just like chilling, you know, that is a very feminine energy, and it's welcoming, like warm waves, you know, like come in. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is feminine energy. And what my beef is, not with the people that do the videos. They're awesome. I love them all, except for maybe like one girl and one guy. Like, she is so glam and seemingly immature and just very, I don't want to say, well, it's a perfect example of what I'm about to say about what the problem is, okay? And then one guy that, oh, he's an older man that does it, and I'm just like, dude, you have reduced your relationships to science, like to this pseudoscience that you've come up with, and it's just weird and icky to me. But anyway, you'll know who I mean if you've seen any of those videos. I'm like, ooh, what is this? But so this is my problem with it, is it seems so manipulative. Like, if you listen to those videos and you start thinking, okay, well, I have to give him less so that he will give me more. I need to not talk so that he will talk, or I need to, you know, it's so calculated. Like, and I don't think that is good for a relationship, and I don't think it's good for femininity. I think that you can be very feminine and also be very generous, very loving, very, you know, expressive and demonstrative, but you also need to take, you know, the stance of receptivity, you know, which is like, I can also receive, you know, like if you want to give me something, I'm going to appreciate it and be so happy for it. But I'm not going to be in a state of, he needs to do this for me and he needs to give me this, and if he's not, then there's a problem. This is what you need to do to get out of that mindset. You need to start loving yourself. You need to start taking care of yourself. And it is not hyper independence. That's something that got tossed around in the things that I was listening to. That is not hyper independence unless you don't want anyone else to take care of you. I am completely open to whoever wants to take care of me. If somebody wants to pick up the tab, great. If somebody wants to fill my car with gas, thank you so much. You know, like, but at the end of the day, no one's going to do for you what you won't do for yourself. So if you're sitting around waiting for somebody to come take care of you, which I'm guilty, I have thought those things, and that's probably why I even listened to those videos to begin with. But I think the real point of it all is for you to increase in self-love, because the more you love yourself and the more that you spoil yourself, you know, I mean, take care of yourself, but also spoil yourself. Like, that energy, the people around you are going to want to spoil you too, but spoil them too. Like, everyone that you love, everyone that you're blessed enough to have a relationship with, love on them. Give them things. Let them give you things. Like, don't sit back and be like, he needs to get me a Louis Vuitton bag, or he needs to buy me this, or he needs to be paying my bills while mine builds up in a bank. And, you know, like, it's toxic. That is so toxic. Anyway, yeah. So maybe more on this topic if you guys want to talk about it. I was just thinking about it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.